Project. Surfboard's in the corner. Sunshine is out. Must be in San Diego. When I'm in San Diego, I think one thing: Olympic lifting, thanks to the Bergners. And here's what we're going to talk about today. Oftentimes we have athletes who talk about elbow pain in the front rack. Usually, for our beginner athletes, it's about wrist pain in the front rack. Today we're going to talk about elbow pain. Usually when we have elbow pain, it's related to the fact that when coach is cueing me to keep my elbows high, one is he doesn't want me to break my arm by dropping my wrist and arm into my leg. Two is that it's difficult to support a big load with the rounded thoracic spine. But three, it's important to understand that I'm going to minimize shear with this more that I can verticalize my elbow. If I'm here, what ends up happening is that the joint actually experiences a lot of shear, and I see a lot of kind of early compression in that position. So, especially with the large loads, one of the reasons we're here is that it's a much more stable position for the elbow to support that humerus to be able to support the load. The issues are, why can't I get to this position? One of the issues, largely, is that we have to look at the carrying angle of the arm. Is that your arm doesn't hang straight down; it actually hangs off to the side a little bit. And if you flip that up, it's outside the shoulder, which is actually one of the reasons your hand needs to be outside that shoulder. The second reason, of course, is external rotation. Inflection tightens up the upper back and winds up the shoulder capsule. But when we see athletes in this position, for lack of internal rotation or broken positions, they usually are going to make some compromise. They use that narrow grip, challenges the wrist. So here's what we're going to do to unload this. Typically when I see these positions, I think, hey, we're having an athlete who's having an external rotation problem. Get in your band first. Let's go ahead and wind up and see if we can improve this positioning. This is just an exaggeration. I'm going to grab my elbow, pull in, open up all of this tissue so that I can get into a better position. So I'm going to contract, relax, and I'm going to sneak around and try to find some different corners. Oh, and it's that external rotation position that feels really nasty. I can wind up a little further. I can even turn my hand so that I'm in a good front rack position. So that's one. I'm also going to be thinking about working on that front rack, and you're going to find if there's a difference in side to side, predominantly your dominant side and that distal elbow, that this is really going to exaggerate it because I'm in big flexion here. And really what's happening is I'm loading the elbow, which loads the elbow first, and then I'm applying the tensioner at the shoulder. So load and tension, that biases this tissue much more than the other one did. So I hang out here. I can really feel what that external rotation position feels like. This is internally rotated. This may even bring about your elbow pain. As soon as I externally rotate, that opens me up, and I'm going to be like, oh, that's where I'm tight. So hang out here, contract, relax, keep winding that up. You're also getting some distraction through the joint here. So if that joint space gets tight, it's just an overtension fault. Contract, relax, hang out, open that up. You'll find that that one really does load this kind of distal elbow, and that's where we see these overtension. If I'm having a hard time getting to good thoracic extension, then I'm going to be stuck forward. So I pull out my trusty roller, I bang out a little thoracic mobility, hit the ribs here, and then I can even put that arm overhead, mobilize that rib as we go. I can do the double piece. I can try to create some shear, but I definitely need to be spending some time, particularly in that T12 L1 region, that interface of thoracic spine to lumbar. Hang out down here. Don't forget about that entire segment so that I don't get rib cage tilt. I need to get global extension. And finally, if your wrists are really, really, really stiff, that can transmit a lot of problems upstream. So band distracts this direction, load it up, block the wrist, and then with the band pulling in the opposite direction, I just fold forward, and then I'm going to externally rotate on top into that strong position. So not only am I working on kind of pure wrist extension, but then I'm going to also work on that external rotation in that position because that's going to free up that mechanic. See if that doesn't make a difference. Improve your rack position, improve your position, improve your power. We'll see you guys later.